Today I'm going to show you exactly how to soften edges in Photoshop, a quick technique that can transform a harsh outline into something smooth and professional. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to make any cutout look much more natural, whether you're working on portraits or product shots. Let's dive right in. First things first, open up Photoshop and load the image you want to work with. If you're brand new to Photoshop, just go to File at the top left, then Open and select your image. So simple. This step is pretty basic, but don't skip it. Getting your image properly loaded is the foundation for everything we'll do next. Once your photo's open, we're going to use the Object Selection tool. It looks like a little square with a dotted line around it in your tool panel on the left. When you select this tool, you'll notice a new set of options appear at the top of your screen. One of these is Select Subject. Click it and Photoshop will try to find and select the main subject automatically. Sometimes it grabs everything perfectly, other times it might miss a little detail around the hair or shoulders, but don't worry. You can always refine the selection later. Think of this as your first pass at narrowing things down. Now, with your subject still selected, it's time to really fine-tune that edge. Look up at the menu bar again and click on Select and Mask. This is where the magic happens. You're brought into a workspace designed specifically for refining selections. It might look a little different from your regular Photoshop view, but don't let that throw you off. You'll see your subject on a different background, which makes it easier to spot any harsh or jagged edges. On the right, you'll see a slider labeled Feather. Set this to about 2 pixels. What feathering does is gently blur the edge of your selection, kind of like how sunlight softens the outline of a cloud. It's a small setting, but it makes a huge difference, especially if your initial selection looked a bit pasted on. If you've ever seen a cutout with a sharp or unnatural edge, feathering is your first line of defense. After you've feathered the edge, I recommend adjusting the contrast slider. This tool helps to sharpen up the softness just a touch, making sure the transition between subject and background isn't too hazy. Think of contrast as a way to add definition, like outlining your drawing after a gentle watercolor. Move the slider gently and keep an eye on your subject. Sometimes just a little bit makes the selection pop. Finally, set Shift Edge to -50%. This might sound technical, but all it really does is pull your selection's edge inward, tightening things up so there's less background clinging to your subject. If you notice a faint halo or leftover pixels from the background, shifting the edge is like trimming off that excess to get a seamless finish. It's especially helpful with detailed areas like hair or fur, where stray bits can make your composite look unprofessional. Alright, that's it. You've just softened edges in Photoshop like a pro. Don't worry if it takes a few tries to get your settings perfect. Photoshop Select and Mask gives you plenty of room to experiment until your selection looks smooth and realistic. If it helps, imagine you're sculpting the outline of your subject, shaving down the rough bits and polishing them for a clean look. If you found this helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you have any questions or want more tips on Photoshop, drop a comment below. I read every one. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy step-by-step tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.